everyone. Thank you so much for visiting. Thank you for coming back. And thank you so much for all your patience that I have been so slow in responding to all the comments. Before I begin, I want to give, so many of you have asked about Peabody, and I will leave a timestamp down below in case you don't want to hear about Peabody. You could just skip on to the Shop My Stash for the month of June. For those of you that wanted to know about Peabody, she is doing, and that's the best way I can put it. In my last video, I said that she had, I think I had told you that she had a graft put in and we were going to take her back to get a checkup. When we took her back for the checkup to see how the graft in her right eye was doing, they found some aggressive bacteria in her left eye and an ulcer that was developing there. So I had to leave her at K-State at the ophthalmology unit they have there for small animals. I had to leave her there in ICU for 7 days. And the reason for that is because she needed medication every hour. She needed 3 or 4 different drops every hour, 24 hours a day. And they have the vet assistants, they have interns, they have the doctors that are there 24 hours. They obviously on a rotation. So she was there for the 7 days. I bought her home and I was doing the drops for, I think I had her home for 2 days between, she had shown some improvement and that's why they suggested that I bring her home. I was doing those 3 or 4 drops between 6 and 11 o'clock at night, every hour on the hour with 5 minutes wait time between each of the drops. And then again at 3 o'clock in the morning. On the 3rd day, I noticed that her eye, it just didn't seem right to me. It seemed like there was more discharge. It just, you know, it's one of those things, you know your animal and it just, okay, something's wrong here. And we took her back to K-State and they gave me 3 choices. They said you could do a graft on the left eye, which probably will not work because the bacteria was so bad in that eye. And the ulcer, although it wasn't as big, it was deeper than the one on her right eye. That was one, and they said you could try it, and then if it doesn't work, the eye is going to have to be removed. Another option was to leave her there for a week or 2 in ICU, or for me to bring her home and continue with that every hour on the hour throughout the day and part of the night. And then the last option was to remove the left eye. We, along with the doctors, thought that the best thing was to remove that left eye, because if that graft didn't work, I was going to have to put her through yet another surgery. And she's 11 years old. She only weighs 3 pounds. I didn't want her I didn't want to put her through that. She is not a show animal. She's my pet. She's my fur baby. And for her to be suffering this way was more than I can possibly take. I just want her to be as comfortable as possible. I bought her home a day later. They said I could bring her home that day. I could go back and pick her up. And I decided to leave her there overnight just to make sure so they can keep an eye on her. She only has 10% peripheral vision on the right eye. She's not doing real well. She bumps into things. She's wearing a cone, therefore she can't get hurt. But she's having a hard time eating. She has the heart murmur. She has a collapsing trachea. I'm just trying to make her as comfortable as possible. That's really that's my ultimate goal right now. I have her on my lap most of the time. If she's crying, if she's coughing, I want her to be comfortable. And between Wayne and I, we take turns taking care of her. She wasn't even drinking any water. She spent almost 24 hours without drinking any water. And finally, Wayne went and got me a syringe. And I was able to put the little drops in her mouth and she lapped it up. And that's how I got about 60 mils in her of water. So that's why I'm taking so long and why my videos are so sporadic. But right now, She is really my priority. She is my baby, and it just breaks my heart not to give her all the care that I possibly can give her. And the reason I'm able to record this video is because one of the medications that they sent her, she has to have it with food, and it's kind of like one of us taking Tylenol. It's like that, but it makes her sleepy. So I was able to get her to eat some slices of turkey. That's the only thing she's eating right now. And because I was able to get her to eat, I was able to give her that antibiotic and give her that, I don't know, I guess it helps with the inflammation, it helps with the pain, anything like that. So that's what I did, and that's why I'm taking this opportunity to be able to talk with you today and share my shop, my stash. Once again, thank you all so much for asking. Thank you for being there. Thank you for your support. And thank you for your understanding. It means so much to me. It really does to have you all there. All right, and now with the Shop My Stash for the month of June. I'm not going to show you I can't pick up the organizer because it's way too heavy, but I'll leave a picture of here of what it looks like right now. Let's get started with the bottom drawer. I tell you, I love this. I just love this. The only thing that I cannot get into this organizer are my palettes. I can get 2 or 3 of the palettes in there, but I cannot get them all. And I like to have choices during the month. So one of the palettes that I chose is this one from Lime Crime. This is the Venus 3. I had totally forgotten about this palette. I have been using, I gotta tell you, I have been using everything that's in my organizer. I have been so good with that. This is the palette Venus 3. I think it is just so pretty. So I have been using it since June 1st, even though I hadn't shown it to you. The other palette I took out is the Lorac Mega Pro palette. I love these Mega Pro palettes by Lorac. I love Lorac eyeshadows. We have these 2 rows up here are mattes, and these 2 rows are your shimmers. You can get so many beautiful looks, and I know that I'm still loving it because I have used it. So that's kind of like a little sneak peek of it. The other one I took out is the Give Me Glow. This is the Vintage Rose palette. When I purchased this palette, I was so excited about it. I loved it. Very big pans. You have 8 shadows here. This is a woman-owned company, and those of you that know me know that I am a big supporter of women company. That was also another reason why I was so happy with K-State, because everyone there, women. The doctors, the professors working there, the interns, the clinicians, everybody, they were women. Women-owned company. I support her. Love this brand. Love Give Me Glow Cosmetics. They're a little bit slow, and if they run out, because these are made by the owner and some family and friends. So they are made by hand and hand poured, and I love my Vintage Rose. The other one I took out was this one. I know this one has been a hit and miss for many, and that was the Carly Bible palette and Anastasia Beverly Hills. I am one of the ones that love it, or I loved it when I haven't used it since I took it out, because I was first of all, I wasn't wearing much makeup, and when I was wearing makeup, I was reaching for the Lorac because it was just so easy. Really pretty palette if you like Anastasia Beverly Hills. This one usually goes on sale. Usually these that they do with collaboration, you could usually find them on sale. Really pretty, great quality. This one, it's so funny. I was watching Natalie, the beauty diva, on, when was it? On her Saturday morning. She was talking about Forgotten Faves, and one of the palettes that she pulled out was the Lorac Unzipped palette. I love this palette. I have it probably for 2 or 3 years. I think the first time I saw this palette, Emily Noel had been talking about it, and I purchased it when Ulta did their 21 Days of Beauty. It's usually on there. I've seen it 2 or 3 times since then. But very pretty palette. neutral, yet you have your dark shades that you can use for your outer V. You have a few of your shimmers that are not in your face shimmers. You have this one that is really not as dark as it looks in the pan. It's a great color to use as a transition or use. This is what I'm wearing today. So I don't know if I did a pretty quick look because I wanted to record this video and I wanted to record the review for this wig. The other one, this I've had, I think it's probably, I'm going on 5 years with this. This was a Tarte holiday collection. Stephanie gave this to me for Christmas about 5 years ago. And it came in a box, really pretty with like sequences over it. And there were 3 palettes in there. This is one of them. I really like this. I have traveled with these and I just took one for this Shop My Stash. You have your 8 shadows and you have a blush. What I really liked about this collection is usually for the holiday palettes, they're so hit and miss. You have no idea what you're going to get. Some of them are fantastic. They're great. And some of them are just like, okay, this is garbage. At least that's what's happened in my case. This happened to be, maybe because it was 5 years ago, thought it was a great collection, pigmented, the great Tarte palette, just like the Tarte quality, I'm sorry, such as the Tartelette in Bloom or any one of those palettes that we all know and love, same quality. Love this one, very neutral, very easy to work with, and you have your blush on there. The last one that I picked out, and I purchased this, I think it was in December, the last time that I was here in Kansas, and it's by Marlene. This is the Most Wanted Rosy Revenge palette. I purchased this, and I gotta tell you, when I purchased it, I absolutely hated it. I hated it. I didn't feel as if it blended. I didn't feel that it was pigmented enough. I just had all kinds of problems with it. So when I went back to Florida, I didn't take it with me. Well, I decided to pull it out because, you know, it's one of those things. You might hate it and then pull it out and you love it, or vice versa. Sometimes we pull things out that we know that we have loved, and then when we try it again, it's like, oh, why am I using this? Anyway, this is the Marlene palette. I've only used it once since I put it in the Shop My Stash, and I liked it that one time. I'm going to continue using it, and if it works as nice as it did that last week, I think it was, when I first used it, then I think it's totally worth it because this is from the drugstore. In my second drawer, I have my blushes. For this month, I took out the Essence, and I'll leave the names down below because you know I can't see them. Well, let me put on my glasses. Okay, this is the Essence blush. This is in Befitting. Goes on nice and subtle. I bet I'm giving you all kinds of glare, aren't I? Took this one out, bought some. This is the Wanderlust in Dolly. I love this blush. Or, once again, I loved it when I purchased it. These Wanderlust just last, and they look so pretty. But I'll let you know if I'm still loving this. I took out this is the Climax from Charlotte Tilbury. I haven't used this one in a while, so I pulled that out. I know that I loved this one when I first got it. And I pulled this one out. This is an oldie. This is Ecstatic. This is by Tarte. And I like when I pull things out. Somebody asked me, I'm gonna do a pause here, and you can skip over if you don't want to hear this. A few viewers have asked me how I decide what I put in Shop My Stash, and basically all of my drawers are organized or I categorize them basically. You know, I have one for blushes, I have one for primers, and so on, lipsticks, and I go through each one of those drawers and I pick out 4 or 5 and I try to make them in different tone. So for example, I'll have this one, which is maybe for when I'm just doing my daily running around because it's a very subtle color. I'll have the Charlotte Tilbury if I'm going for a night out. I'll have this one, which has more of a coral peachy tone to it. If that's the color that is going to go well with my eyeshadow. So I don't pick only pink blushes or only orange blushes. I try to combine them. This is Foxglove by Becca. This is what I'm wearing today. It's really an in-your-face type of blush, what it looks like in the pan, but actually, as you can see, when I put it on, it just doesn't look, at least I don't think it's going to look that way on camera. It's not looking that way in my mirror. And then I took out a cream, and this one is by Marlene. That was in one drawer. In my other drawer, I have my concealers, and I have my under eye primer by Smashbox, and my lid primer, also by Smashbox. I really like to finish these because I don't have too much of them, and these are by Too Faced. These are the multi-use sculpting concealer, and I have one that's a little darker, one that's a little lighter, but I'm almost finished with these, and I like to finish them. I took out this by NYX. This has a peachy tone. This is a corrector. I really like this. I didn't have a corrector last time. I took this one out. This is by Dior. This is the Dior Skin Forever Undercover Concealer. I remember when I first purchased this, I thought it was horrible. I thought it caked. I thought it looked terrible. I took it out. I want to see, do I love it? Do I hate it? Do I need to throw it away? This one, I'm almost finished with it. This is by Estee Lauder. And this one, I know that I've liked. You have your concealer on one end, and then on the other end, you have your primer, which kind of does the same thing as the one from Smashbox, if that's something that interests you. This one is by Shiseido, and I think I'm almost finished with this one. This one, I had it last month in my Shop My Stash, and I put it back in again because I don't have that much left. I really like it, and I don't want it to dry up. Therefore, it went in my Shop My Stash. This is my new one in here, and it's by Lancome. I purchased this. I only used this once or twice. I think I talked to you about it, but I want to see if I really do love it. I think I loved it, but I don't remember because I don't remember. But I'll let you know at the end of the month. Now we're going into the smaller drawers. I have one for my brows. I have two Anastasia pencils that I have purchased when we had the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I have one in chocolate and I have one in auburn. And the reason I purchased auburn ones is for when I wear my wigs kind of like this that have some blonde in it, or if I'm wearing a wig that's auburn, I don't want to use my chocolate brow pencil just so it won't look as dark. So I've got those two in there. I kept the Lorac. I want to use it up. And my NYX Control Freak. For my primers, I had this last month, and I'm going to continue using it because I want to finish it up. I don't have that much, and this is the primer from Dermalogica. This one Stephanie gave me when I was in Washington in January, and this is by Laura Mercier. I had never used this before, and she had it set aside for me. And this one Sheila had recommended. I bought it, and I barely used it, so I wanted to take it out again. This is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer. Sheila from Simply Sheila, she loves this one. And she kept telling me you need to try it. So it's in there to try. For my mascaras, I'm running out of my MAC. This is the one that I use for the lower lashes, and I want to finish that up. The Roller Lash from Benefit. This is almost finished as well. I want to finish that up this month. The same with the Lancome, the Grandiose. Lancome Sills Booster, almost finished with this. And for new, in case I finish all of those, and I wanted to make sure I had one in there because I told you I'm not going in through any of my drawers. This is the Smashbox Full Exposure. In the next drawer, I have lip primers. I have the Prep and Prime from MAC, and I have the Emile Cardone. For my sunscreen, I have the Ultra Sheer by Neutrogena. This one has, I think it's an SPF 70. When I do this, especially in the summer, I really like to have some kind of a CC cream or a BB cream because I don't wear a full face of makeup every single day. And what I took out, which I haven't used since I got it, I used it for about a month or so, and I really liked it, and then I just put it over to the side. It's the Arborium CC Cream. I really like this. This one is in golden, but I'll give you more details on it once I use it a little bit more this month. So yeah, my camera overheated. That's telling me that I am talking way too much. Let's go to my lip glosses. I pulled out this one. I got this for Christmas from Color Science. This has an SPF of 35 and I hadn't used it. I used it a little bit. I didn't use it much. So I took that out and I took out, yes, I have to. I needed my buxom White Russian in here. And this one from Fenty, which I absolutely love, and I can't remember the name, but I will leave it listed down below. This I really, I loved this product because it's a lip tint. It's called the Dior Addict Lip Tattoo Long Wear Color Tint. I purchased probably 2 or 3 of these because it just looked so nice, and when it started wearing off, it just left that pretty color on your lips. I'll keep you posted on how that's working out. And this one, I had it and I hadn't used it. This is by ColourPop and it's called Just a Tint. This to me is perfect for the summer. I think I saw Kristen 321, she bought the collection, the Emily Noel ColourPop collection, and she talked about them, and that reminded me, oh, I've got one of those. Let me try it. So I pulled that out. This is what I'm wearing today. This is by Estee Lauder, Pure Color Envy Liquid Matte, and it is in number 401 Burnt Raisin. Like I said, it's what I'm wearing today. I really like this. That I'm going to tell you right now. I really like it. I've got 3 Lancome that I pulled out. And for the life of me, I cannot see these colors, even with my glasses on. This is a cream, and it's Hot, H-A-U-T, Hot Nude. And it's the second one right there. And this one is the one that I cannot see the name. But I will find it because this is one that I have purchased other times before. And it's this one right here. So I got those nudes out, and I got this out. This is Tangerine Target by Tarte. Thought this was a really pretty color for the summer. Where is it? It's right here, right there, that last one. I pulled this one out from Wet n Wild, and it's called, this is Nude 06 Real. Really creamy, really pretty, right there. It is by Sephora, and this is Lip Stories. This is Desert Trip. I remember when I purchased this, I really liked it. It's a raspberry right there. That's what I have for my stash for January, oh my gosh. For June, we've been through a lot, but we will get there. This too shall pass. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your thoughts and your prayers for Peabody. I truly appreciate every single one of you. And this too shall pass. She will get better, and I will get back on schedule, and I will get back to answering comments in a timely manner. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. And don't forget, ladies, follow your passion, whatever it may be. I'll see you next time. Bye.